Hey guys, it's Sarah from A Wild Rumpus, and today I'm talking to you about bullet journaling and fitness tracking. Two of my favorite things. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about was how in the month of January I completed a Whole30. If you haven't heard of a Whole30 before, you can check it out at Whole30.com. This was actually the first time I'd ever made it the whole 30 days through a Whole30 after numerous attempts, so I was actually pretty excited to get that finished. I think one of the key factors of me being successful this time was using my bullet journal to track how I was feeling from day to day. I think I would get really caught up before and just feeling like it was this never-ending thing, but laying out a full month where all I did for that spread was just talk about how I felt on a particular day. Both Jill and I have problems with inflammation, and especially after my surgery in December, I really noticed that if I cut certain things out of my diet, like bread and sugar, my body just feels better. So I was using January as a way to kind of eliminate the things that I knew gave me inflammation and then slowly add them back in. I've been surprised to see what a huge effect dairy has on me. It's not good. And so learning the things that my body reacts to and how I react to certain foods really helped me a lot, and I'm glad that I did it. My Whole30 layout was such a huge help to me. I'm so happy that I did this because I feel like it's one of the biggest reasons this Whole30 was a success. I made a little box for every single day, and then I wrote down how I felt about my Whole30 that day. Sometimes it was great and super encouraging, and then sometimes I just would write things like, I want nachos, because I did. So I feel like when I do another Whole30 throughout this year, I'll be able to look back and kind of see what's coming a little bit better, and it will be fun to kind of see what the experiences are as well compared to each other. Here's a look at the spread I used to track my emotions of a Whole30. This is the layout I came up with for my Whole30 tracking, and I wanted to keep track of kind of how I felt from day to day just to see how it went, and I'm really glad that I did because this really made me see like I could do things. It was good to keep track of stuff. I don't think I would have remembered so much of this if I hadn't had tracked like this. So it was good. I made some notes like about what was really hard. Weekends were hard, days I had shoots were hard, because I wanted to reward myself for doing well. I kept track of my starting and ending weight, but then I also did some non-scale victories on here as well, just to keep track of the things that really felt good. Really glad that I did this because it's truly the only way I would remember this experience in this much detail. So, yay! The other thing that I decided to do was start monitoring my weight loss in my bullet journal. Now, I'm not really one for the scale and pounds and that kind of stuff, but my doctors really are. So I decided that for myself and for my doctor, I would keep track of weight I was losing in my bullet journal. I didn't set a huge number goal because that can get really frustrating when you're losing 2 to 3 pounds a week. I wanted something that would be attainable within a few months, something that I could enjoy the process of. And then when I've met that goal, I can move on to another. I did a 2-page spread. That's so pretty. From one side is the weight loss where I can pound by pound fill out what I've lost. But I feel like this page is even more important than this one, where I answer the questions, what is my why? What are the best parts of my experience? What have been some of the worst parts of the experience? What are some of my proudest moments? The most rewarding experiences I've had? The things I was scared to do but did anyway? I think having a page like this kind of balances out the numbers page as well, because the scale can be mean and it can be an awful, awful thing, and you can really get lost in the power of the scale. And I don't want that to be something that happens as I progress with my weight loss. So it's important to me to have other things. I included in here enough space in between these where I could do non-scale victories as well. I think that's really, really, really important to make sure that we're not just recording numbers on the scale, but also little things that happen that are huge changes, like fitting into your favorite pair of pants again, or running your fastest mile, or something like that. So I think it's important to keep track of not just the pounds you're losing, but those other little victories as well. think self-care is so important, and the bullet journal is a great way to make sure that we're getting what we need. Don't be afraid of fitness tracking. It's a great way to kind of assess where you are and decide what changes you want to make in your life to make your fitness more important or just to help you feel better. Maybe it's drinking more water, maybe it's taking your vitamins every day. It can be a simple thing that you track and start there. And before you know it, you'll be with us training for your next 10K. Thanks for joining us on A Wild Rumpus. Hit that subscribe button, friends. We'd love to share more with you about cooking, bullet journaling, and more. Thanks for being a Wild Rumpus starter with us.